What's up, fellow foodies? Chef Hesh here. Tonight I'm going to try something that I've never tried before. I'm not quite sure what to even call this. It's kind of like an enchilada steak thing. I'm not quite sure. It's a food experiment, okay? You can see I've got a nice steak here. I've already cut one up. I'm going to cut this one up as well into nice tender little bites. And then I'm going to use some Las Palmas brand green chili enchilada sauce and just dump it all in together. I am going to brown the steak a little bit before I put the enchilada sauce in. I have a little bit of Rotelle. I'm going to add a little bit of that Rotelle in there. You know I love this stuff. I swear by it. It's amazing. I also have some ranch-style beans, you know, obviously out of a can. These things are delicious. If you've never had them, like, oh, you've got to get them. It's like chili beans, but not. I'm gonna add a little bit of Rotelle to that as well, and some bacon. I've got some bacon that I've already cooked, ready to go, and I just sliced it into pretty good little strips. Those are going in the beans with a little bit of the Rotelle, and the enchilada sauce is just going over the steak. I do have some flour tortillas, so I'm gonna make one with steak like a taco, and the rest I'm just going to eat with a fork or a spoon, depending on how saucy it is. And it's going to be good. I will come up with a name for this dish by the end of the video. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments below, because I can always rename it, put up a new thumbnail, change the title. You come up with something better than I do, let me know in the comments below. So I'm going to cut up this other steak, and I'll show you what we're going to do. I'll be right back. Okay, folks. I've got my steak cut up into these nice little thin strips here. I did salt and pepper them, and I put a little bit of cumin or however you want to pronounce it on it, because I'm doing kind of like a Mexican style thing, and I guess that's one of the primary spices they use. I mean, come on, I know this, you know this. Taco seasoning, right? So, at this point, I'm going to dump it into a very, very hot pan, add some enchilada sauce after I've browned it. Just going to stir it around for a couple minutes, dump some enchilada sauce in, cover it. You want to cover it. And I'm going to let it go, and I'll start the beans, which, as I said earlier, I'm going to put some Rotelle and some bacon into. A little bit of salt, some pepper. You always season to flavor, to taste, flavor, whatever, We've talked about this before. Just make it taste good to you. That's the most important part. That is cooking. So let's get to it. I'm going to take a little bit of oil, just a tiny, itty bitty bit of olive oil, squirt it in the skillet, because I don't want it to completely stick right away. That wouldn't be good. We don't want burned meat. We want cooked meat. Let's get to it. Got our move spatula here. Put a little bit of oil in there. And then I'm going to use spatula here to just kind of dump this meat in. Hear that sizzle? That's what you want. Oh yes, do not put this into a cold, dry pan. Okay, well, dang it. Yeah, I left the spatula on here just a little bit too long. He got a little bit hot, so kind of burned a little bit, but that's okay. Not sure if you can really hear me over this sizzling here, but that's what you want, is you want nice, hot sizzling. We're going to brown this meat a little bit. So just move it around, let it go. Let it do its thing. Try not to burn yourself like I tend to do. You can see I've been using the crap out of this thing. Yeah, move it around. You're good. Don't burn yourself, folks. It's not fun. At this point, my next step is going to start the beans. I already have my pot preheating, just on low, because we're going to do these low and slow, and they're already essentially cooked. You can just eat them cold out of the can if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend that, but you could. So, I'm going to take my ranch style beans and my bacon, and I'm going to stir them up, but I have to have a spoonie first. Let's go. Dump them in. You want all of that in there. As many of those as you can get out. Like, see, there's like 2 left in there. Not a big deal. And yes, I'm making a huge mess, but I mean, that happens. Just kind of spread them out. You want them nice and even in the pot, because we want them to cook evenly. And take your bacon and just dump it in. Give it a good stir. You want to kind of mix this around a little bit. These are already perfectly flavored beans. You could literally just eat them the way they are, but you can also elevate it and make them truly kick-ass. And that's what we are doing here tonight. Give them a good little mix. We're missing something. Oh, what are we missing? Rotelle. That's what we're missing. Just a spoonful. Now, don't drain your Rotelle. You want that juice, because these are going to like reduce as they cook a little bit. We don't really want that. We want nice, juicy, awesome beans. Oh, look at that Rotelle. Oh, I love it. I'm sure you do too. And if you don't, let me know in the comments below why you don't like Rotelle, and let me know what's a better substitute for the Rotelle. Let's put this in there. Just a spoonful. Put a little bit of that juice in there too. Just give that a good little stir. We're trying to add flavor here. It's not so much about heat. I do have some jalapenos that I'm debating about putting in here. I'm not sure if I should or not. I think the Rotelle will add just the right level of spice that I need. At this point, we're just going to let this heat up. I try not to do heat and eat, but this is essentially heat and eat aside from cooking the bacon. At this point, we need to tend to our beef. It's coming along nicely. Yeah, see, look at that. It's all brown. Now, a lot of times people will go ahead and drain this. I'm kind of debating it. Maybe I should just leave that in there, because fat means flavor, and this is just fat. But when I go ahead and pull it to one side, pull it all to one side, this is just you probably already know this, and then tilt it. Look at all of that meat juice right there. Because I'm going to be essentially making a sauce, I'm putting enchilada sauce in this, I don't really want that. So, the beef will actually brown better, and it will absorb more of the enchilada sauce flavor if I get rid of that. So, I've got a lid here. My lid actually has handy dandy, nice little vents in it. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this, pour in some enchilada sauce, and I'm going to let it go for probably about 20 minutes until the meat is nice and tender and flavorful and the beans are done. And then I'll show you how we're going to make the taco. I will show you essentially the finalized dish. There's not much more to this. So stay tuned, and yeah, we'll have a little steak enchilada taco with some cheese and some sour cream, maybe some black olives or something on it. Maybe a little bit of lettuce or something if you like that. And I'm just going to eat the rest with just a spoon or a fork and the beans. Yeah, I'm calling this kick-ass ranch style enchilada steak. If you got a better name for that, let me know. Like I said, I will rename it. I'll change the thumbnail, everything. Let me know in the comments below. And we'll get this done. I hope you try this because it's actually phenomenal. See you in a minute. Okay, so we've got our beans in the pot with that bacon, with that Rotelle. Oh, add a little bit of salt and pepper. I did taste it. It needed a little bit of salt. Oh, these are amazing beans. Try this. Those ranch style beans, you can get them at most grocery stores. I've found them in multiple states. Get them. You need to do very little to them. You can eat them right out of the can, but if you add a little bit of bacon, a little bit of Rotelle, now you're really cooking. So do that, I implore you. Our steak is browned and ready, so at this point, we only have a couple things left to do. Namely, add the enchilada sauce. I know, enchilada sauce and steak? Well, have you never had a steak enchilada before? Maybe, maybe not. If you haven't, once again, let me know. But I'm gonna get, what is this? It's like a 12-ounce can, 10-ounce can. I'm dumping the whole thing in. Check it out. The entire can, dump it in. Just give it a little stir. At this point, we are just going to cook this steak in this enchilada sauce until it gets super tender, almost shreddable. That's where we want it, because we're going to do a couple things with this. We're just going to eat it by itself, maybe mix it with some of the beans, and make a taco out of it. It's so versatile and extremely simple. It's salt, pepper, cumin, enchilada sauce. It's a cut up steak. You can do this. I implore you to do this. So at this point, I'm going to just let it sit covered while it does its thing. You can see my beans here. Oh yeah, these are great. One of the reasons I added the Rotelle is because we get a lot of water content out of those tomatoes. And this is going to reduce a little bit. Makes the beans a little bit thicker. Look at that. Almost there. By the time our meat is done, these beans will be done. Super quick, super simple, absolutely delicious. You will like this, I guarantee it. And I have to say, don't skimp on the meat. We didn't buy some cheap knockoff, crappy, well, it looked like a cow, so we thought it was a cow. No, we actually bought some pretty good beef for this. You'll love it, I guarantee it. We did use canned ingredients, which that is fine. Those ranch style beans, there's something that company does that just really makes them taste delicious. So buy them. They're actually really good. And kick ass. So we'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta let this do its thing. You know, I try not to rush. And I'll show you the final experience. And I guarantee you, it's kick ass. See you in a minute. Oh my lord, folks. This is going to be amazing. So, what we're doing here is we've got our steak with our enchilada sauce and our ranch beans with the bacon and the Rotelle and everything completely done. I've just got a flour tortilla here, a little floppy guy. I'm going to make a taco. I've got some sharp cheddar. Use whatever cheese you prefer. I personally like sharp cheddar. I've got some black olives and some sour cream. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this sharp cheddar. I'm not sure if you can see this. I hope you can. I'm going to throw it down on this little taco here. Boom. There we have it. I'm going to put some meat on top of it, some black olives, and some sour cream. Some people put the black olives on top of the sour cream. Some people put them under the sour cream. I generally do the cheese first and then the meat because the meat is hot. So it's going to like melt the cheese a little bit. And then I do the black olives and the sour cream because the sour cream kind of like holds the black olives in place. It makes it kind of stick down. If you have a different method, if you have a better method, please let me know. And I will try it. And if it's better, it's better. You know, no ego here. Although my food is pretty kick-ass. Wah, 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 I know. Yeah, so let's get to it. as you can see, my meat is awesome. Like, man, I made essentially a gravy out of enchilada sauce. Who does that? Huh? I do. My beans, I went ahead and reduced them. Like I said I was going to do earlier. I reduced those suckers. I'm not going to put any of those on this little taco thing. What I am going to do is just take some of this meat and just kind of dump it in. It's saucy. It's flavorful. Look at that. Oh man. Did I heat the flour tortilla up beforehand? No, I didn't. Why didn't I do that? Because this is super hot already. It's actually going to heat the tortilla as it melts the cheese. At this point, just give your sour cream a stir. Some people don't. They like that weird little like film on the top, which is not a bad thing. You're supposed to stir it back in. If you're one of those people that does not stir their sour cream, let me know why. Maybe you know something I don't. And if you do, I would definitely like to know because I'm trying to improve here. So I'm just going to throw a few olives on this. Just there's your standard fare canned black olives. Nothing super crazy or fancy or whatever. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of sour cream. But I do it down one side. Why would I do that? Because when I fold this, it kind of helps it stick. It's kind of like the glue on an envelope. Does it work every time? No, it doesn't. But that's okay. It's about the effort that you put into your cooking, Add a little bit of extra cheese on there. Yep, this is going to kind of want to fall apart, but that's fine. You lay it on its side. Boom. You've got a crazy awesome taco that you can't buy that at any shop that I've ever been to, and I've been to shops all over the place. If you know a place that makes a taco like this, let me know because I want to eat there. I want to try it. At this point, we're going to finish our plating. Check it out. We've made a lot of meat here. Oh, look, up there we go, floppy taco. We're going to take some, and we're just going to set it off to the side. This is what we're going to eat with just a fork, or a spoon, or, a dagger, whatever you personally prefer. And we're going to take some beans, give them a good little mix before you actually serve them up. Put a decent portion down there. I mean, they are nice and hearty and thick, and then we've got that bacon in there, we've got everything. I'm going to add a little bit of cheese to this, to both the meat and the beans, because we like cheese, right? Who doesn't like cheese? Everybody likes cheese, right? I mean, if you don't, I need you to tell me why. I really need to know, because cheese is just so good. So I'm going to add a little bit of cheese. Not a lot, just a little bit, just over the top. This is a weird enchilada kind of steaky thing with ranch-style beans. All I know is it's really good, and the flavors actually pair together very, very, very well. I have about 40 bottles of hot sauce, all the way up to Da Bomb and Godslayer and all these crazy ones. There's a lot that you can actually use. My lady really likes the crystal hot sauce, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that to her. There's one that I like as well. It's called Texas Pete. I'm going to go ahead and use the Texas Pete this evening. I could use some of my Cholula or my Buffalo or my Louisiana Supreme Habanero pepper sauce, but for the flavor profile here, I think these two are going to be absolutely gorgeous. So, here we are. I'm going to, I'm going to go ahead and give her a fork so she can actually eat the rest of this stuff. And a napkin. But here we are. We've got a taco with the steak and the cheese. See, it's already melting. Oh my lord. We've got the steak itself with cheese. And we've got these ranch style beans with the bacon. Huh. Amazing. Rotelle and everything, because, you know, I like my Rotelle. I'm going to go ahead and serve her up. Oh, look, it flopped open again. It's really trying to show itself off for you right now. And I will see you on the next one. Stay foodie.